Hey guys, tonight we stumble into something strange. What if the year 2025 is just a reprint of 1941? But with Wi-Fi and Twitter, you're not dreaming, you're drifting through headlines, comment sections, breaking news tickers. At first, it's just noise. But then, the tone shifts, you blink, and suddenly, the world feels too familiar. The rise in global tensions, the speeches, the eerie nationalism, the economy wobbling like a tightrope walker in the wind. You think you've seen this story before because maybe you have. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, comment your location and what time you're watching this. Let's see just how many of us are wide awake during this time. Echo, you're sitting on your couch, quiet, scrolling, when you come across a side-by-side tweet. 1941, 2025, one calendar, one mistake away. You tilt your head. A meme, maybe, but it sticks, because under the surface of this digital joke hides a strange, gnawing truth. In 1941, the world teetered on the edge of all-out chaos. Most people didn't know they were living history. They thought they were just enduring hard times. It started with economic strain, growing authoritarianism, an awkward silence between superpowers. Sound familiar? You blink again. The stock market feels jittery. A major European country just withdrew from a security pact. A certain Pacific Navy just increased patrols for safety reasons. You try not to overthink it, but history loves subtlety. Right before it yells, here's where it gets weird. Did you know the Pearl Harbor attack in December 1941 happened after Japan issued no formal declaration of war? Just boom, a surprise. In today's world, analysts warn that surprise attacks may now come not with bombers, but with blackouts, cyber attacks that look like accidents until they're not. You notice your lights flicker. Coincidence? The air smells the same as it did back in high school just before a summer thunderstorm. Static, dry, but expectant. In 1941, ordinary citizens kept living their lives, unaware that the gears of history were shifting beneath their feet. And yet there were signs. A politician in Washington once warned, "This peace is an illusion." Historians still debate whether President Roosevelt knew the full scale of the threat, if clues were ignored, or if fate had already written its first paragraph. Now look at 2025. Another world leader warns, we must act before it's too late. Vague, chilling, and it's not clear who they're referring to. You scratch your head. Why does everything feel like a soft reboot? Here's an obscure fact you likely haven't heard. In 1941, a secret Soviet intelligence memo warned of event convergence, a term describing multiple unrelated global tensions suddenly aligning, like storm fronts colliding. The original Russian word translates roughly as calendar fracture. Calendar fracture, you mouth it. The phrase feels heavy, like something you're not supposed to understand. You check your phone. A notification, economic forecast revised. Recession risk rising. Double quotes great. Suddenly, your apartment feels colder. Not the thermostat, the vibe. You wonder, are we living inside a glitch, a loop? Or is this just how time works, spiraling forward, yet echoing backwards? You scroll again. More strange headlines. Asia-Pacific naval buildup, election tensions at home, alliances tested under pressure. Each one could be a dusty headline from a 1941 newspaper, except their timestamp this morning. You laugh nervously. It's ridiculous, right? But your heart knows better. The timeline is humming, like an engine warming up. And the worst part, nobody's steering. Mini cliffhanger 1. You pass a cafe downtown. The news on TV shows a shaky cam of troops on exercise near a contested border. But the ticker below reads, developing, standby for presidential address. You stop walking. Mini cliffhanger 2. That night, the moon looks a little too red. The wind doesn't blow, it pulls. You lie in bed and whisper, what year is it? Again, you wake up and the world feels slightly off, like the second replay of a dream. The sunlight is familiar, but it's hitting your wall at a strange angle. The air carries a stillness that doesn't match the sound of birds. You glance at your phone, half hoping the headlines will have changed. They haven't. Instead, one of them reads, foreign embassies on alert. Officials cite unusual chatter. You Don't know what that means, but your stomach does. You head out. Everything looks the same. Cafes buzzing, kids laughing, traffic screaming. But beneath it, a strange undercurrent flows like an invisible river running opposite to time. You cross a street and pass a mural, something you've never noticed before. It shows an hourglass, cracked, leaking stars instead of sand. Someone's tagged beneath it. History doesn't repeat. It reloads. A chill rolls down your spine. You start comparing timelines. In 1941, Germany had annexed several territories. World leaders warned of appeasement fatigue. Diplomats kept smiling until they didn't. In 2025, territories are again being disputed. Satellite images show movement. The markets hold their breath, and once again, the public scrolls past it, all half aware, half asleep. And then you stumble upon this bizarre tidbit. In mid-1941, a Polish mathematician submitted a paper to a university in exile. It theorized that global conflict zones could be predicted using solar cycle data and geopolitical stress clustering, a concept way ahead of its time. The paper was dismissed as pseudoscience, but decades later, researchers revisited it and found an unsettling correlation. The next predicted peak, 2025. They called it the echo window. You try to dismiss it, but the data won't leave you. Everything seems to be lining up. Energy shortages, military drills, tech espionage, diplomats walking out of meetings on live TV. You chuckle nervously. At least we've got memes this time around. But your laugh catches in your throat when you read a new post. All it takes is one spark. You keep scrolling. There it is again, the same calendar, 1941, 2025. Day by day, week by week, they're aligning eerily well. Historians argue whether these overlaps are just cherry-picked patterns, or if deeper rhythms exist, ones tied not to history books, but to human psychology, economic thresholds, or mass denial. The phrase comes back to you, calendar fracture. You feel like you're not walking forward in time anymore, you're tracing over a sketch someone already drew. With each step, your choices feel less like decisions and more like repetitions. You enter a bookstore. Inside, a dusty corner holds a WWII display. Maps, radios, journals. A black and white photo of a street parade, filled with smiling citizens. A handwritten caption reads, "3 months before everything changed." Your heartbeat slows. You ask the shop owner when that photo was taken. He pauses. Late August, 1941. You look at the calendar on the counter. It's late August. 20 to 5. Mini. Cliffhanger 1. Outside, your phone buzzes. Emergency alert. Not a test, not a drill. You swipe, but it freezes before revealing the message. Mini cliffhanger 2. You walk past a group of teenagers filming a TikTok. The music glitches for half a second. Then, your earbuds start playing a WWII radio transmission you didn't queue up. Your hands tremble. You didn't open the app. And now, you don't know how to close it. You try to calm yourself. Maybe the past is just a mirror. Maybe this is all pattern recognition gone wild. But then again, maybe the calendar is trying to warn you. So you do what any sane person would do. You check tomorrow's date. You open the 1941 timeline. And you wait. The clock ticks differently now. You sit still, the weight of invisible patterns pressing against your chest. Maybe nothing will happen tomorrow. Maybe it'll be just another ordinary day. With coffee in the morning, messages left on read, and random tweets arguing about pineapple on pizza. But somewhere, deep in the folds of time, you can't shake the sense that threads are being pulled tight, stitched from a fabric you've seen before. It's not fear. It's recognition. Like standing in a room you swear you've never entered, and knowing exactly where the light switches. The strange thing is, you're not alone. Somewhere out there, others are feeling it too. Little echoes, tugs in the mind, unspoken synchronicities that make us wonder, are we really making progress, or are we walking in a loop, pretending the scenery is new? So what do you do with that thought? You breathe, you reflect, you carry the awareness forward, not as panic but as presence. Because if the past is whispering, it's not to scare you, it's to prepare you. The future doesn't have to repeat the past, but only if we listen. If you found this journey strange, stirring, or just a little too real, then take a second to like this video and subscribe, but only if you truly enjoy what we're building here together. Drop a comment with your local time and what moment hit you hardest. We read them all. And hey, maybe share this with that one friend who's way too into history conspiracy TikToks. For now, let the lights fade. Let the thoughts linger. Let sleep take over.